It didn't take us no time to see all the things you didn't want us to see. Ooh, 'cause you thirsty and ain't ready to love. What's up, y'all? It's your girl P Hope, and yes, it is me, and yes, I am looking crazy with this big ass dark hair in my head, because if y'all knew what was going on up under here, you would be like, girl, you need help. I do need help. But you know, that's neither here nor there. We are here for season 4 of Ready to Love. I hope you guys had a great week. My week went by really fast, and and I am happy about that. So yeah, I was able to just get a little relaxation in, watch the show last night, and now we are ready to get into this good old review. So let's go. So the scene starts out with all the ladies meeting up at what Tommy calls the ladies lounge. Okay, ladies have the ladies lounge, so that's where they'll meet every week or every other week, however often they do this, to discuss all the tea about the men. So he lets them know that this week's assignment is to go out on a date with the men, but he wants them to dig deeper, find out what it is that they're actually here for and what is it that they expect out of a relationship. So that was this week's assignment, was to, you know, dig as much out of these men as you possibly can. So the first date that we see is with Joelle and Vernisha. Okay, the date is actually at Joelle's house. Because when they were back at the ladies lounge, who was that? Tressa was like, look, you want me to dig, like, you ain't saying nothing but a word. Like, you know, I'm normally not that kind of girl, but if you need me to, I can really get my investigation on. I think she said something to the effect of, like, listen, I can go in the medicine cabinet and figure out if you got a little herpes medication or something like that off up in there that ain't, you know, that's gonna make me look at you a little sideways. So that was just a cute little moment, and of course, who better to put something out there like that but the comedian Miss Tressa. Y'all know how I feel about her. I hold her, you know, deep to my heart this season, because I feel like they playing her, and I don't know why they playing with her, but you know, for whatever reason, I'm just rooting for her to come out on top. But yeah, so that was her little cute moment. So anyway, back to the date. So it's Joelle and Vernisha. They meet up at Joelle's house, and Joelle, first of all, Joelle has a very nice home. You know, looks like he lives in a very respectable neighborhood. So I just wanted to put that out there. He has a cute little brick home, and so he decided that he wanted to make breakfast for Vernisha. So I don't know what time of day this date went down, but he made breakfast. He did bacon and eggs, and then of course he had a nice little flower arrangement out on the table, and he just set the mood. So Vernisha pulls up. It was actually raining at the time that she came, but you know, her outfit of choice was I'm not gonna say it was racy, but I'm gonna just say we all knew that mama didn't have on no panties and mama didn't have on no bra. I said, okay, Vernisha, all right, giving him something he can feel. That's what the hell she had going on. Because she just had on leggings, and I want to say that it was more of the bell bottom type of leggings, so it was really fitted at the top, and then it kind of flared out towards the bottom. But then she had on this sweater material type of crop top. So she had on a crop top with no bra, and you know, so if she would have had to pull one of these numbers right here, baby, Joelle was gonna have a shout, honey. Wow. So, so you know, he goes in for the hug or whatever, and he was like, oh, Y'all want to know what Miss Vernisha felt like? Like, that baby felt like Mardi Gras Zulu ball. I forgot what all he said, but honey, he had that accent going and it tickled me. So, yeah, that was the introduction of their little date. And once they sat down and really got into the date, some of the things that they talked about was, let's see, she told him that she has a connection with him, and he was like, you think so? And she was like, yeah. You don't think we got a connection? He was like, yeah, I for damn sure think we have a connection. And so that was one of the things that they bonded on. And she also told him that she loves the way that he lights up when he talks about his kids. You know, he really appreciated that compliment. He was like, really? You think I light up when I talk about my kids? She was like, yeah, definitely. And he was like, you know, yeah, my kids are definitely, you know, me. So, you know, without them, there is no me. And he just said that, of course, he went through the tragedy that he went through with his wife or whatever, with her passing away. But, you know, he's done his grieving. He still does some grieving, but he is at a point in his life where he is ready to bring somebody in. So, Vernisha lets us know in her confessional that she can definitely see a blended family and a future with Joelle. She was like, I know that sounds crazy, but like, I can really see us coming together as one. And I'm not going to say that that sounds crazy at all, because I can actually see that for them too. Because I think I told y'all in the last episode, like, I don't know what it is. I don't know if it's how the editing is, or if you know, if it's just really that visible that Joelle and Vernisha really do just have a natural and a real authentic chemistry between one another, and they look really good together too. So you know, that helps the situation. So I'm definitely rooting for Joelle and Vernisha, and I'm curious to see where that's gonna go. So overall, their date went really, really well. The next couple that we see is Alexis and Troy. Bum 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 bum. Like, bruh. Alexis and Troy go on a date at a restaurant, and as soon as Alexis comes through the door, here comes Uncle Troy talking about some, man, you know, Alexis came through the door and I just couldn't keep my eyes off of her. You know, for us men, everything is physical. So, you know what I'm saying, she definitely gave me something to look at. She came through the door like boom, bam, pow. And I'm just like, bruh, first of all, you could tell that he had already unclothed her and humped her a couple of times in his head. That was very apparent. And second of all, like, he's just so, I don't know the word that I'm trying to say for him, but he gives me real creep vibes, y'all. It's creep vibes. Y'all know that Troy has been my least favorite person from day one, when I don't even remember the ignorant statement that he made, but it was just like, so some people can get away with saying certain stuff and some people can't. And Troy is just one of those people that, like, bruh, at the beginning of the day and the end of the day, you need to be humble. You are just one of those people that need to be humble. And as the date went on, I started to see more and more of Troy. Like, his slip really started to show as the date went on. And what I mean by that is the vibe that I initially get from Troy is that maybe as a school child, he was picked on, or maybe in the home, maybe he had older siblings or people around him that might have kind of picked at him, because he's giving me the nerd that turned cool in his own head. That's what he's giving me. So I think a lot of the way that he acts, a lot of his mannerism is due to a facade. That's the vibe that I get from Troy. A lot of his mannerisms are because I feel like I have to portray myself as this person. I have to do this and I have to do that to make myself look like more than what I really am or who I just really want to be. If I just really let my hair down and be myself, you know, he's probably a really, really cool guy. But he's just so busy trying to put on and flex and be thirsty at the same time that it just doesn't really work out for Troy. But all of that is my personal opinion, and I'm just going to dig into the date. So here we go. Let's see. I already said Troy was being a creep immediately soon as Alexis sat down. And let's see. Oh, and he did greet her with his signature move. He when she walked up to the table, he did kiss her on the forehead or whatnot. And, you know, she just kind of rolled her eyes like, here we go with this damn kiss on the forehead. But whatever, you know, hey, Troy, how you doing? Whatever. Soon as they sit at the table good, Alexis goes in. She starts talking to him about how she does not appreciate him spitting the same game to all the other ladies as he spit to her. And, you know, she was like, you know, you told me that you were interested in taking me on a little getaway or whatever. But upon talking to some of the other ladies, you told them the same thing. And then on top of that, they also talk about how they got a kiss on the forehead the same way that I did. And his response to that was, that doesn't even sound like me. Oh my God. I don't recall that. I don't do the kissing on the forehead. And she was like, he was like, did I think he was the one that asked. I think he was like, did I kiss you when you came in today? And she was like, yes, you did. You don't remember just a few minutes ago when I came in, you kissed me on the forehead? And he was like, nah, that just doesn't sound like me. Jesus Christ. I'm like, what the hell? But then when he did his confessional, he was like, yeah, you could tell anytime that a woman is sitting with this aggressive stance that, you know, that you're in trouble. He was like, but, you know, for me, I don't break a sweat. You know, I'll never let you see me flinch. And that's what I'm talking about when I say I feel like he has a certain facade and a certain persona that he's trying to push across, but it just doesn't quite work out. Like, it's very readable. It's very readable. And so what's going on is, you know, Alexis let him have that shit. She was like, you know, whatever at this point. Y'all, their date was pretty much focused on Alexis trying to figure out what is Troy's motive in being on the show. Is it to spit the same game to all of these ladies and see how many of us that you can swoon over? Or are you really seriously here looking for love? Because at this point, like, you're looking like a joke. You know what I'm saying? This is a game to you at this point. And a lot of us are really here in search of love. And it just doesn't seem like that's what you're here for. And then it also showed a clip of how many of the ladies Troy has actually kissed on the forehead. And y'all, it is damn near all the ladies. He has hit damn near all the ladies with his signature forehead kiss. And I think the only one that he was not able to kiss on the forehead was Amber, because she called his ass out immediately. You know what I'm saying? He went in for the kiss and she was like, you know what I'm saying? Because you already been ringing around the rosy with your lips on all these other women. So I'm pretty cool on you. I'm straight. So then when Troy went in his confessional, his arrogant ass gonna have a nerve to say, well, I didn't see any of these ladies pulling back. Hence the clip that they showed with Amber pushing back. Like, bruh, no. But yeah, so Troy is kind of like in La La Land. And so Alexis just comes out and asks, well, you know, since so many of us ladies have a similar story, just keep it real with me. Who is your real number one? Who is number one? Who is sitting up here on your list for real, for real? And he never did answer the question. He never did answer the question. And that was pretty much the end of their date. Our next date is Amber and Chris from last season. Okay. They go on a date to a boxing slash kind of, you know, workout center. And I was like, okay, this is different. And so Amber gets in the ring, and then Chris comes around the corner and he's like, ladies and gentlemen, let's get ready to rumble. And you know, Chris said that he wants Amber to fight for his love. So that was a cute little, you know, a cute little workout, quick little something. And Chris let us know that he thinks that him and Amber have a really nice chemistry amongst each other. He keeps telling her how cute she is. You know, they don't really have a dull moment between each other because it's always something to talk about. And after their little boxing session, they sat outside of the ring, and he was really ready to dig in and find out more about her. So even though this week's assignment was for the ladies to find out about the men, in this situation, Chris was finding out all about Amber. So I thought that was a little different because, you know, that lets Amber know that, yeah, like, it's not about going exactly by the assignment. Like, I'm letting you know that I really am interested in you, and I want to know, what do you have going on? So I don't know what your assignment is for this week, but what I want to know is, I want to know about Amber. So I thought that was a really telling moment that Chris really is into Amber. And so he literally wanted to know, like, start from the beginning, tell me everything that it is to know. And she talked a little bit about her growing up. She said that she was a foster child, and she was adopted at 5 years old, I believe. And she was also separated from her 7-year-old biological sister, and they just recently reconnected with each other. And so that was really neat. And then Chris also spoke on a similar family dynamic that he had going on with his family, because he is, I think he said that he has 10 other siblings, and his dad has like 9 different baby mamas. So his papa was a Rolling Stone, and he shared his similar experience to reconnecting with siblings. So that was something that they definitely were able to connect on, and it made Amber comfortable enough to say, well, you know, I know that I said that I was a criminal attorney. That's what her title says. She says that, you know, everybody thinks that she's a criminal attorney, but she reveals to Chris that she is actually a DA. That's what she said. She's a DA. And, you know, she said that that's not something that she tells people from off the top, because she, you know, she doesn't want people to judge her for the career choice that she has decided to make. So she only tells that to people that she's comfortable with. So this lets Chris know that, yeah, like, all right, this is not just your regular schmegular date. Like, she's feeling me just like I'm feeling her. So their date ended up going really well. Who was next? Stacy and David. Okay, now this was an odd pairing to me. Was it odd to y'all? Because it was real odd to me. I'm like, I would have never expected Stacy to be interested on a date with David for whatever reason. Stacy gives me hot girl vibes. So Stacy needs somebody more fast paced. I could see her attempting to go on a date with her and AJ paired well. I think her and Jason would probably have a good time together. Maybe I would even do Stacy and Dietrich. I actually enjoyed their chemistry at the date last week. So yeah, I was kind of shocked to see Stacy and David, but nevertheless, the date was the date. Okay, so they do a date at a Pilates fitness studio. And I want to say that it's Stacy's studio. Now, I could be lying on that part, but I want to say that that is actually her facility. And David says that he loves the fact that, you know, he can find a woman that actually cares about keeping up with her physical appearance and just taking care of herself in general, because, you know, he need his woman to be up to par and ready, because he said he loves playing footsie in the middle of the night and whatever else. So, you know, it is what it is. He appreciated the date at the Pilates studio. And as they're talking, at some point throughout this date, David asked a question, and he said, how do you feel about passwords to the phone and the swapping of the social media information? And Stacy looked at him like, yeah, no, like I'm not really good with that. You know what I'm saying? I just feel like it is a level of privacy that everyone should have amongst each other. So yeah, can you have the password to my phone and to my social media? Like, nah. And let's see. Oh yeah, so that's how she worded it. It was a hell no for Stacy, but she said that you're confusing privacy with secrecy. And so how she worded that, I completely agreed. I completely agreed with Stacy in this moment, because for me, like, I don't have anything to hide in my phone. I have absolutely nothing to hide in my phone. My man could ask me for my phone at any time. He can jump on any app, go in any text message. Like, it's nothing there for me to hide. And same thing on my social media. Like, he knows when guys slide in my inbox and in my, you know, because I feel like if it's flattering enough, I'll tell him about it. So I'm not telling him about it in a way to be like, oh, well, this dude said this, and this on my inbox, so you need to go in there and check him. Or, you know, you need to know that this fine ass man was talking to me, so if you get wrong, just know I got somewhere to be. Like, no, that's not it. But just through pillow talk, if somebody says something to me, if I felt like, you know, if it was flattering enough, then I'll bring it to him and be like, yeah, you know what I'm saying? That picture that I posted made old dude slide in my inbox, and this is what was said. So for me, if I do something like that, it's just on some cute banter back and forth. You know what I'm saying? I'm not going to do it if we've already been in an argument, or if he's already feeling some type of way about something. Like, you know, it's got to be right time, right place. I don't know, y'all. It's just... I know I'm not really making a whole bunch of sense right now with what I'm saying, but I totally agree with what Stacy said. It's just, for me, it is the confusion between privacy and secrecy. I feel like everybody should have a certain level of privacy. Now, if I say, baby, can I look at your Facebook or your Instagram or your Twitter or whatever, and he is immediately standoffish and he's like, no, or hell no, like, what the fuck you want to do that for? Fuck you want to go through my text messages for it? Like, what's going on? Like, if you're acting some type of way about it, then yeah, that's going to raise a red flag for me. That is going to make me feel like it's something there that's not supposed to be there. And then, of course, that's a whole nother rabbit hole that you got to go down. And, you know, you work that out from there. But just off the rip, for you to say, oh, well, you know, because we're married now, I feel like we should have 1,000% access to each other at all times. I feel like I need the code to your phone. I need the password to all your banking accounts. I need all your passwords to your social media. Like, nigga, no. No. For what? It's either you trust me or you don't. And me personally, in our relationship, we have a motto, and I think that it's a motto that, as long as you stick to it, you never have anything to worry about. So the relationship in our motto is, do not do anything or say anything to anybody that you would not do or say in front of me. So that means if you see a beautiful woman, you're not going to say anything inappropriate to her. You're not going to do anything appropriate to her because you wouldn't do that shit in front of me. You know what I'm saying? You wouldn't say that shit in front of me. So just don't say it at all. You know what I'm saying? If you got a couple thoughts in your head, then nigga, that's where it better stay. Because once it come out your mouth, we got a problem. You know? So, that is just the motto that we live by in our relationship. And so other than that, I feel like I don't need the password to his phone. I don't need the password to his social media, to his bank account. I don't need none of that stuff, because if I don't trust him, I don't need to be in a relationship with him. Period. AJ and Jason go out with Liz and Alexis. So Alexis got 2 dates this time, okay? They go to, now y'all, I might get this wrong, but I got that they went to the pin cornhole. I know the game, so it might be called pinhole, I don't know. But, I mean cornhole, it might be called a cornhole. That's just what I got on my notes, but whatever. So anyway, they're sitting there playing the games or whatever, and for the most part, I think AJ and Liz kind of won, because it was AJ and Liz out on a date with Alexis and Jason. So, they was on a cute little couples date, and then of course after the games were all done, they broke up in separate couples so that they could have that one-on-one time with each other. So, Jason says that he is struggling to see Alexis as a potential love interest versus looking at her as a parent. And you can kind of tell. I'm not sure if the attraction is there on Jason's end with Alexis. Alexis, we know, has a very aggressive side to her. And I don't know if that's something that Jason is looking for. Like, we know it doesn't have anything to do with her size. It doesn't have anything to do with her being a chocolate woman, because he loved the hell out of him some Kyra. So that, you know what I'm saying, that part has nothing to do with it. I think it probably has something to do with her being slightly on the aggressive side, and also the fact that she is one of the parents. Like, he probably really is struggling with that. With AJ and Liz, AJ lets Liz know that she is just really regal. She has a very regal spirit about herself. And so Liz asked the same question that David ended up asking Vernisha and Tressa. And she wants to know, is AJ okay with waiting until he gets married to have sex? And he just kind of looked at her and was like, you know, have you ever had sex? Listen, AJ was like, man, whoa. And she was like, of course I've had sex before, but I just feel like our bodies are so important, and you know, sex is such a very personal thing that it shouldn't be shared with just anybody. It should be shared with someone that you are planning on being with for the long haul. And he was like, well, yeah, I can definitely understand that, but just keeping it 1,000 with you, like, I do feel like that line should be crossed before I think about putting a ring on your finger. So you know, that was just the nice way of him saying, like, hell no, I'm not for the wait. Like, I'm finna be out here smashing. And preferably, you know what I'm saying, if my attention is focused on you, I'm trying to be smashing you. Like, I definitely want to go for that test drive before I purchase the vehicle, because if it end up being a lemon, then, you know, that's a deal breaker off the top. And I think that that's what a lot of people have to understand. Like, okay, so if Liz and David got with each other because, you know, it's clear that they both They're both on the same page with how they feel about religion and also how they feel about abstaining until marriage. So, let's just say that the sex is absolutely whack once they finally get married and, you know, here they are. You know, you got all my information. You got my password. You got my social media. You got my bank account information. And now you got my pum pum. But it's trash. The sex is absolute trash. Now what do I do? Yes, you can be perfect on all other aspects of the relationship. We're going to church together all the time. We're praying together. I love the way you cook. I love our conversations. I love the quality time we spend with each other. We are vibing on all levels except for this one thing. This one thing is way, way at the bottom. That's going to be a deal breaker on one of their sides. Because ultimately, if you're not satisfied with your partner in the bedroom, that's going to make you do one of two things. It's going to make you exit stage left, or it's going to make you cheat. Because ultimately, you're unhappy. So, I just feel like it's very important to take that test drive before you purchase the vehicle. And that's on both ends. That's not saying that, oh, a woman just, like, ladies, you should know what that peen look like, what it smell like, what it hit like. Like, no, that's on both sides. Like, the man should know what to expect from a woman, and a woman should know what to expect from a man. And vice versa. A man with another man, a woman with another woman. Whoever your life partner is, I just feel like sex and money are two major things in a relationship that you really, really have to already know what to expect before you move on to a serious level. Just my personal opinion. And back to Alexis. Alexis and Jason. Alexis says that she is a little concerned about how conservative Jason is. And she said that because, you know, he was real jokey throughout the date. That was number one. And then number two, she was way on one end of the couch and he was all the way on the other. But even though she was on her end of the couch, she still had her legs crossed and her body was projecting towards him. But he was not the same way with her. He was on the other end of the sofa, but he was still facing straight ahead. And he would give her eye contact from time to time. But you could tell that it was a bit of nervousness in there. He was being slightly standoffish. Like, it was some mixed emotions going on in that date. So I definitely understood where Alexis was coming from. So like I said, I don't really know. Me personally, I don't see that Jason is really feeling Alexis like that, because I feel like if Jason was out on that date with Kyra, it would have went completely different. If he was out on that date with Stacy, it would have went completely different. I just don't see the chemistry on his side with Alexis. But hopefully we'll at least see them on one more date so that I can kind of get a better feel for these two. Our next date is Chrysanthemum and Ronald. They go on a date to the ice cream parlor, okay? Chrysanthemum, one of the first things that she said was, now look, you know, I had talked to Ronald at the mixer or whatever, and I gave him a little conversation, but now that I'm seeing him again, like, I don't know what happened between then and now, but homeboy looked good. He looked the same to me, but, you know, maybe she just didn't remember him looking that way, because she said that, you know, he pulled up looking like he was looking, and she wasn't mad about it. But anyway, like I said, they go on a date to an ice cream parlor, but the ice cream parlor has little different board games in it. So they're playing like Connect Four, Jenga, Tic-Tac-Toe, things of that nature, checkers. Really cute little ice cream parlor. And so as they're playing games, they're having conversation or whatever, and they acknowledge that they are both looking to settle down. Y'all remember Chrysanthemum is a flight attendant, and Ronald is into, I want to say Ronald was the one that had quite a few different businesses going on. So on the financial end, Ronald definitely has his shit together, because I think I remember giving him his kudos in episode 1. Ronald tells Chrysanthemum that, you know, as a young child growing up where he grew up at, it was rough, and he came up around a lot of hoodlums, gangsters, if you will. And at the age of 18, he ended up getting incarcerated. So he's done a little jail time. And at first, Chrysanthemum was like, you did what? But, you know, then as he continued to talk, you know, she was like, oh, okay, so, you know, you really made a full 180 on this situation, and, you know, you did your thing. Chrysanthemum lets him know that she is looking for a provider, a protector, a real man. That's her definition of a real man. You know, every woman has her own definition of what a real man is. So that's just how Chrysanthemum feels about it. She said, you know, if you can pay them bills, and if it's a situation where they walking down the street and somebody smack on her ass and call her a bitch, like, you gonna be ready to do what you gotta do. That's the kind of man that Chrysanthemum is looking for. Ronald says that the things that she's asking for out of a man, he can do that shit with his eyes closed, because that's what he's been doing since he was really young. So, you know, as far as playing a role of a provider and a protector, that's a cakewalk. But the thing that he needs from a woman is he needs to feel needed. He wants to feel needed. And those were his exact words. He said, I want to be needed. And that just really sent Chrysanthemum to the next level, because she's like, yes, that's how I want to feel about my man. I want to feel like I need you. And so, you know, that was just pretty much the highlight of their date and of their conversation. And so they seem to be having a good time in my eyes. And we'll just have to see where it goes between Ronald and Chrysanthemum, because I think this was the first time that we actually saw her, because she was not on last week's episode. All right, Liz and David. Y'all, I was excited. I was like, yes, we're finally gonna get to see the chemistry between Liz and David. So their date was actually at David's home. So I'm like, okay, yes, they ain't gotta feel awkward or nothing, because it's just them two. So where is this about to go? What is about to happen? And so, of course, the connection with them is just really, really genuine, because they vibe on such a spiritual level, and they you know, they have so many similarities amongst each other that, you know, their chemistry is just kind of natural. They talk about how they were raised, and David talks about how with him growing up, he was always in church. He wasn't allowed to go on dates. He wasn't allowed to have girlfriends. And his mom was that one that when you call his house and she answered the phone, she said, praise the Lord. Y'all, I have a cousin like that, and that's how she was. That's exactly how she was. So I knew exactly what David was talking about when he was explaining all that, because y'all, it was like my cousins, my female cousins, they could not wear pants, they could not wear shorts. It was nothing but skirts. You could put on skirts. If you answer the phone, you have to say praise the Lord. Like, they was in church, I don't know how many days out of the week, and all day on Sunday. Like, it was a whole lot. It was a bunch, okay? But yeah, so that is the background that David has. And so he said that it was so much church going on in his home that once he graduated high school and went off to college, he started doing his own thing. And it even got to the point where he neglected the church. You know what I'm saying? There is no more going to church on Sunday. There is no more this praise the Lord when I answer the phone. Like, because now I'm out here and I'm in the real world and I see how most people are living, and it seems like it's so much more free. And you know, I don't have to feel like I'm so chained down and boggled down, you know what I mean? So he was able to relax once he made it out into the college life. But he said at some point he did end up coming back to the Lord, of course, because those are his roots. So it made a lot of sense. And Liz was like, you know, that's what's up. Let's see. Liz let him know her story about how she has actually been single for the last 17 years. And David was like, you ain't been with nobody? And she was like, of course I have been, you know, in situationships. But no, as far as being in serious relationships with people, no, I haven't been in 17 years. Let's see. David said that he did end up getting married in his 20s, and in the first year of the marriage she ended up walking out on him, and to this day he doesn't really know why. And so of course that has really fucked with his head. I mean, who wouldn't? Like, that's crazy. And so that is where David gets a lot of his worrying from. And so that's where you guys seen the clip of him saying that he just doesn't want anyone to leave. He doesn't want anyone to leave anymore. So of course, with something that traumatic happening to you, you're gonna have abandonment issues, and I get it and I understand it. But I think that David needs, if he hasn't already had it, I think he needs to go to some therapy. And if he's already had therapy, he's going to need more therapy, because if he feels like knowing every little thing, if he feels like knowing the password to your phone, knowing your bank account information, knowing all your social media information, putting a tracker on your car, pulling up on you randomly just to see who you're communicating with and how the body language is between the two of y'all. I don't care how much investigating work David does in his relationship. If you feel like you have to play detective within your relationship, you're not ever going to be 100% satisfied. This could be the most perfect person for you, but David, you will ultimately end up sabotaging that relationship if you don't get your trust issues together. So I do feel like you need to find some kind of outlet and some type of counseling to get you over your abandonment issues, because ultimately that's going to be the fall for you. That's going to be the reason that you can't hold on to somebody, because you're hovering and you're being overprotective of it. You're like, okay, this is mine. It's not going anywhere. Like, yeah, you're going to drive yourself crazy and you're going to drive your partner crazy. So I need you to get that together, buddy. I like you, but you're doing a whole lot and you scare me at the same time. That ended up with Liz saying that she is feeling very hopeful about David, and that's pretty much how their date ended. And now it's time to head back to the ladies' lounge and discuss what's happened on all of these dates. Okay, this is the part that I always get excited about, is the end of the show. So and like I said, they're back at the ladies' lounge, and the first thing that Tommy wants to know is who feels like they're buzzing already about somebody. And so Vernisha was the first person to speak up, and she said that she is definitely feeling Mr. Joelle, like point blank, period. She's feeling her some Joelle. She said that he is just a genuine man. And then Tressa also chimed in to say that, yeah, like Joelle is definitely that dude. She said between his swag like no other, his New Orleans accent, which is definitely on point, baby, okay, and how can any man be that fly and still have braces in his mouth? She just don't know. But he has managed to pull all of it off. So, you know, she definitely understands why Vernisha is feeling Joelle the way that she is. So that was Vernisha's number one, was Joelle. Liz says that David is a breath of fresh air for her. Duh, we didn't, you know, we all saw that shit coming. So Liz is really into David. Amber says that she is really enjoying Chris. So, you know, like I said, that date wasn't just your normal little friendly, some of that, okay, that was cute, like maybe I'll call him again, maybe I won't. Like, no, they're both actually really into each other. Which, I don't know why, but I didn't see Amber going for somebody like Chris. I don't know why. I think it's because I saw Amber maybe targeting somebody younger, one of the younger men. But no, it's Chris for the win, okay? Chrysanthemum says that Ron really surprised her and that she really likes him, and he checks off all the boxes on her list. So, yeah, so the talk that they had about him being a provider and a protector, it really settled with her. And she said that she is really into Mr. Ronald. Now they want to know who the ladies are not feeling, okay? So this is where Miss Stacy chimed in. And Stacy says that she is not feeling David because of his insecurities. But Liz says that that did not sway any of her feelings that she has about him because she was raised in a similar household. So she understands why David is asking what he's asking. She understands it, even though Stacy said it's a hell no for her. Okay. Vernisha said that she is not feeling AJ or Troy. Okay. Kyra says she's not feeling David. Liz said that she is not feeling Troy. And Alexis says that she is not feeling Troy. Well, duh, we knew that. That date was god awful. So the gentlemen that end up on the bottom are AJ, Troy, and David. So, you know, this leaves two women to take the bottom two men out. So it ends up being Stacy taking Troy out and Amber took David out. So when Stacy takes Troy out, the first thing that she asks him is, you know, do you feel like you've been disingenuous throughout this process? And again, this was a valid question that was asked, but we don't ever see if Troy answered this question or not. But we all know that Troy is full of shit. So, I mean, we know the answer to the question. Yes, Troy is very disingenuous, but in his delusional mind, he feels like he's probably been the perfect gentleman. Amber, when Amber took David out, she pretty much let him know that the ladies had concern about his thoughts on personal space. And they are concerned that you will forever be bringing your past issues to your present relationships. And I think David did actually explain himself, but I don't have any notes that can tell you guys exactly how he felt about it. But I do remember him saying, like, I know exactly where you're getting that conversation from. That came from the date that I had with Stacy. And I feel like she took it completely out of context. It panned back to Stacy and Troy, and Stacy just pretty much let him know that, yeah, we just don't feel like you're ready to love, bro. Like, we just don't see it for you. You're doing a whole lot of repetitive strategy with all of us pretty much. And she was like, even though I never really got the opportunity to go out on a date with you or whatever, like, pretty much, we just don't see it for you, bruh. So, you know, you have a nice life. And that was that pretty much. Yeah, Troy took his thirsty ass home, which y'all know it made me happy because I just feel like Troy is just Troy. Troy is sexist. Troy listen, I wish you the best, brother. I wish you the best, but I just hope that you can watch the show back and figure out some things that you need to go back to the drawing board and redo. I hope you watch this review so that you can get a good opinion on how you come off to people, because I don't feel like you see it within yourself, but sometimes it just takes for that person to be on the outside looking in for you to be like, damn, is that me? That could be me. Brother, it's you. It's you. But anyway, y'all, that was this week's episode of Ready to Love. I apologize once again for looking so damn crazy on the screen. The weather is not the best outside, so I'm sorry if the lighting is a fool. But either way it goes, I had to come get this video out for my people, and I hope you all have a wonderful, wonderful, wonderful weekend. And you already know, this is your girl P Hope. I hope you be happy, be healthy, be safe, and I will catch you in the next video. Bye, lovers.